It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. Okay, we have so many glass words. We're gonna just leave them, and we're gonna skip them. No, okay, the first word in this episode is glass blowing. One word, noun from circa 1829. It is the art of shaping a mass of glass that has been softened by heat by blowing air into it through a tube. A glass blower is a noun. A glass blower is the one who is literally blowing air through a tube from their mouth parts, and then the tube goes into the glass, and then they can shape it and do things with it. And this is a crazy skill, a crazy thing to learn. It's just kind of amazing. You gotta be careful with the hot glass, though. It's all like orange and red and hot, and you could burn yourself, and you gotta use other tools. That's the thing. How often are they actually blowing air into the glass? I know I've seen videos of them using these tools and making things, and I'm like, how did you make that in a matter of seconds just from these tools? It seems amazing. But all of it is called glass blowing. All right, let's make a sound effect. It's going to be whoo, because that's the sound you make when you're glass blowing. Next is glass ceiling. 2 words. Yeah, it's like the wall above you. It's just another wall. No, it's a ceiling, but it's made of glass. It's a noun from 1984. An intangible barrier. It's not a real thing. An intangible barrier within a hierarchy that prevents women or minorities from obtaining upper level positions. So sometimes you'll hear people say something like, it's hard to break through that glass ceiling. I'm going to try to smash that glass ceiling. That glass ceiling's got nothing on me. I'm busting through it. Gotta wear protection because I don't want the glass to break my skin. But at least the ceiling will be broken. There is no etymology, but I want to know, where did the term glass ceiling come from? Because I'm trying to think about it. So it's an intangible barrier. It's the idea that women and minorities won't be able to reach it. Let's see, what does this say? The phrase glass ceiling, describing invisible systemic barriers preventing women and minorities from advancing to top-level positions, was coined by management consultant Marilyn Loden in 1978, not 1984. She introduced it at a women's exposition in New York to counter claims that women's lack of ambition caused the gender leadership gap. What was the sentence that she said? What was the... Let's see, the phrase gained widespread recognition following a 1986 Wall Street Journal article which analyzed the lack of women in senior corporate roles. It's like, hey, where are they? They haven't broken through the glass ceiling. 1991, there was the Glass Ceiling Commission by the U.S. Department of Labor. And I don't know. Let's put a link in the show notes for glass ceiling. I'm sort of trying to figure out, like, what's the point of the term? I mean, I get the idea. The ceiling, it's like you're going up the ladder and it's up there, it's above you. But why is it glass? Is it like, ooh, it's fragile? If you break it, then maybe more people will be able to come through? Is it, I don't know. It's an interesting term. And, you know, slowly but surely, we've been seeing over these decades more and more women and minorities in these top-level positions. But it's not equal. There's still a lot of white dudes up there. And to be honest, we got to get rid of them. Now we have a glass closet. Glass closet. I don't think I've heard of this one. But it is a noun from 1991. It is the state in which the sexual orientation of a homosexual person is known to many, but not publicly acknowledged. Well, of course, I have heard the term coming out of the closet. If you are gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, any something in that queer world, I think it's the idea of coming out not just to yourself, but to the world, to the rest of the public out there, to say, I'm not hiding in this area, I'm open. But the glass closet specifically is where many people in this person's world knows of who they are really, but the public does not. They have not come out to the public. And yeah, just like, why are we using the word glass again? I think it's the same thing as the glass ceiling. Why are we making houses made out of glass? Don't throw stones in that house. You might break down these things. Now we have glass eye, 2 words. Noun from 1651. Number 1, an artificial eye made of glass. Can you imagine having literally a glass ball? I mean, I guess if it's solid glass, that feels pretty good. But if it's like just a thin hollow glass ball, then that's dangerous in your head. Number 2, an eye having a pale, whitish, or colorless iris. Interesting. I want to see a picture of that kind of glass eye. Glass eye, white iris. I mean, yeah, I think people who are, what is the word? Albino people, they tend to, I think, have more white irises, or much more lightly colored irises. Now you're just literally showing me glass eyes. I said glass eye, white iris, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. All right, now I have all these eyes staring at me. This is kind of creepy. Glass-eyed, that is an adjective. 1651. They were making glass eyes way back then. I mean, people were having, people existed who were missing an eye, lost an eye. Where's my eye? I can't see it because my eyes are gone. But way back then, they were popping in some glass eyes in people's heads to at least make it look like they had an eye. I don't know. What would I do if I didn't have an eye? If I lost an eye, would I just go open? Would I show the space that's missing to freak people out? That would be kind of fun. Would I wear a patch? Would I get a fake eye? I don't know what I would do. What would you do? Do you have a glass eye? Tell me about your experience with a glass eye. Next is glass fiber, 2 words, noun from 1882. The synonym is fiberglass. Fiberglass, glass fiber. Which one do you choose? Whoo! Now we have glass harmonica, 2 words, noun from circa 1909. A musical instrument consisting of a series of rotating glass bowls of differing sizes, played by touching the dampened edges with a finger. Well, you probably have done this where, some older person when you're a child teaches you that if you dampen your finger and then you rub your finger around the edge of certain glasses, that you can make this high-pitched tone, because what you're doing is you're vibrating the glass, and it's resonating at its resonant frequency. But the glass harmonica is an interesting thing because it's not a harmonica, but the things are made of glass, these glass bowls. Yeah, okay. And I've seen these. It's an interesting thing. So they are literally, these different sized bowls are set into each other horizontally, and it's spinning. You can make it spin. Maybe there's a pedal or something. There's all these different types of versions of these. And there's just enough space, maybe like an inch or so, between the rim is exposed of each of these, and I guess there's this tube that just goes through all of them that they're attached to, and it seems like that would ruin the resonant frequency of these. I don't know. There's a guy dressed up like a pirate playing one of these. And then, yeah, you dampen your fingers, so you probably got to have some water nearby. Yep, they got bowls nearby so they can go quick damp, quick damp, quick damp. And then each one is a different size, so it has a different frequency, and they can play these songs. And I think it has a very sort of haunting sound. Should we just find a video of one of these? Maybe we can even click on one of these. Here, let's click on this video, and let's watch that, and let's bring up the volumes. So it was invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1761. Can we skip to where you're playing more, please? Thank you. Oh, that was the end of a song. Here we go. It's interesting. It has such an interesting sound, and I'm seeing the close-up is that some of them have this like gold rim, and I think that those are supposed to match the white and the black keys, so you know what your notes are just by seeing them. And yeah, it's a fascinating thing. But why is it called a harmonica? That's what I don't understand. Okay, we got to move on. No more glass harmonica talk. Let's post a picture of one on the social media, though. Now we have glass house, one word. Noun from the 14th century. Number 1, a place where glass is made. Oh, let's go down to the glass house and get us some glasses, and then we'll make a glass harmonica. And also make some glass ceilings and glass closets and glass eyes and glass fiber, and maybe more glass things that we shall learn about in this episode. The glass house. Number 2, this is chiefly British. The synonym is greenhouse. That makes sense because the greenhouse isn't green except for the plants inside. Those are green, but the house itself is made of glass or something clear. So that, British people, I agree with you. Number 3, this is also British. It is a military prison. This seems backwards to me. A glass house would be easy to break out of, so I don't think that's a good idea for a military prison. I'm sure that they have some good reason why they're calling that a glass house. But, I've heard the big house, but not a glass house. British people, you're wrong about this. You're right about greenhouse, but you're wrong about this one. There's, of course, that phrase that I mentioned, don't throw stones when you're living in a glass house, but that's not a real thing, so they didn't put it in the definitions. Whoo! Next we have glassy. Glass with an I-E, or you could spell it with a Y, and I assume, yep, we'll see the Y version later on. So glassy is a noun from 1887. It is a plain marble made of glass. So there's the game Marbles. And I believe, aren't all marbles made of glass? And so you call them all glassies? Glassies. Glassy, come home. Glassy. Oh no, is there a child in the well? Glassy. Next is glassine. Glass with an I-N-E. Noun from 1916. It is a thin, dense, transparent, or semi-transparent paper, highly resistant to the passage of air and grease. Resistant, so this glassine will not allow air or grease to pass through, but it is transparent or semi-transparent. And what are you using this in? Where's the glassine being used? Not flaccine, glassine. We're looking it up. Let's see. It's a smooth, thin, translucent paper that is grease-resistant, water-resistant, and pH neutral, which means it's acid-free, making it ideal for archival storage, protective art interleaving, and food packaging. Made from wood pulp, via a high-density supercalendarine process. It is eco-friendly, recyclable, and biodegradable. Whoa. Developed in the early 20th century. Well, that sounds very interesting. You should go learn more. And from 1916, go learn more about that. Next is glass jaw, 2 words. Noun from 1940. It is vulnerability to knockout punches. And who are we talking about? Probably a boxer. So when a boxer gets in the ring, it's probably not very good for them to be vulnerable to knockout punches. Basically, if somebody hits them in the jaw, it's probably going to knock out most people. If you got a quote-unquote glass jaw, then you'll be like, oh, crap, I fell down. You knocked me out. You hit me in my glass jaw. You're not supposed to hit me in my glass jaw. I have a glass jaw. I told you about that before the match. You're not supposed to hit me there because then you'll knock me out. I'm going to be all dazed and my neck's going to hurt and my head's going to hurt, and especially my jaw. That's definitely going to hurt as well. Glass jaw. Whoo. Next is glass maker. Noun from 1576. They're probably working in a glass house. It is one that makes glass. Glass making is a noun. The glass maker needs to make the glass in the glass house. So then the glass blower can take it and make it into something, and maybe they're making it into a glass eye. And that's as far as that goes. Glass snake. Glass snake, 2 words, noun from 1709. This is any of a genus of limbless snake-like lizards of the southern U.S., Eurasia, and Africa, with a fragile tail that readily breaks off from the body, often in pieces. Wow. Wow, there's a lot going on here. So the genus name is Ophisaurus. Ophisaurus. And so it's not a snake, but it looks like a snake. Let's look up glass snake. It's a lizard, but it's limbless. So why isn't it a snake? What's the difference between a snake and a limbless lizard? But the glass part, it doesn't look like glass. It's not white. It's not clear. But its tail can just pop off, and we know that many lizards can do this. They will regrow it. But not only will the tail break off easily, but it will often break off in pieces. Let's look up glass snake tail, because that is the whole point of this thing. When they're scared, when they're freaked out for something, then when they get shocked, they're like, ah, and then there's the spot in the tail where it just like detaches, and you can see that the muscles and everything in there, and then I guess it grows back, and but in pieces. If it breaks off in pieces, it's like glass. It's like shattered. All right, glass snake. Wow, what an interesting animal. Whoo. Next is glass sponge. 2 words, noun from 1875. Any of a class of chiefly deep water siliceous marine sponges with 6-rayed spicules and a skeleton often resembling glass when dried. The class is Hexactinellida. And then the species, or the, I don't know, there's another one that's Hyalospongii. All right, well, obviously, I think we need to look at a picture of a glass sponge skeleton. Yeah, obviously. What happens? Why does it look like glass? Wow, that is very, very intricate. This is the most intricate skeleton I've ever seen. I mean, I guess, does it look like glass because it's white? Because it's, I don't know. I don't know if I would say that looks like glass exactly. But that's what that is, that glass sponge. And yeah, I mean, I think obviously I should be posting pictures of some of these things on the social media. Six-rayed spicules. What? Six-rayed spicules? What are those? Poof! That's a fascinating thing right there. Whoo! Glassware. Noun from 1722. It is articles made of glass. Just anything made of glass is glassware. I'm wearing some glassware. My world is shaking. Glass wool. Two words. Wool, like the wool from a sheep? Noun from 1879. This is glass fibers in a mass resembling wool and being used especially for thermal insulation and air filters. So I imagine, it says glass fibers, so I imagine it's fiberglass. It's these tiny, tiny little fibers made out of glass. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. That would be bad. And when it's all piled up together, all these fibers, it looks like wool, and you use it to put behind your up in your ceiling, up in your glass ceiling, up in your attic, behind your walls, to insulate the place, and just keep it back there. You don't want it all up in your face. No. Now we have glasswork. One word. Noun from 1611. Number 1A. The manufacture of glass or glassware. Also, glazier's work or glazier's work because it's plural and possessive. So the work from the glazier is glasswork, and also just making glass. The glass maker is making glasswork in the glass house. And then 1B is plural. It's the synonym, the number one definition for the word glass house, which was the place where glass is made, is also called the glasswork, or glassworks, plural. Number 2, the synonym is just glassware. Glassworker is a noun. Glassworker, glassmaker. What's your favorite term? Whoo! Next is glasswort or glasswort, W-O-R-T. One word, noun from 1597. Any of a genus of woody, jointed, succulent herbs of the goosefoot family with leaves reduced to fleshy sheaths. And this is called also pickleweed. Okay, what is this glasswort? Let's look up a picture of a glasswort. The genus name is Salicornia. Woody, jointed, succulent. Let's see. Let's look up this. Okay, let's find a good picture. Sort of looks like a skinny cactus, but I don't believe it has the spiky thorns. It's jointed, so there's like these sort of like bamboo, where these there's just pieces to it. They look like they've been joined together. And very skinny, and also many, many branches. Lots of branches, and they're all kind of bunched up together. Let's see. Succulent herbs of the goosefoot family. The goosefoot family. Leaves reduced to fleshy sheaths. So that's what the leaves are. Etymology. This is from its former use in the manufacture of glass. Whoa. Glasswort used to be used to make glass? Let's see if this says anything. There's culinary uses. It has nutritional value. Historical use. The term glasswort comes from its 16th century use where the plant's ashes were used as a source of sodium carbonate, soda ash, for making glass and soap. Note, while edible, it is important to ensure that they are not harvested from polluted areas, so don't just go eating it out there in the world. Unless you know what you're doing, and I sure don't. Next is glassy. Glass with a Y. Adjective from the 14th century. Number 1, resembling or made of glass. Number 2, having little animation. The synonyms are dull and lifeless, as in glassy eyes. My glassy eyes, they don't have any animation. They're just dull. There's nothing happening behind the eyes. They're just glassy. That's what they are. Glassily, that is an adverb, and glassiness is a noun. Yep, that's all for that. And now we will go to one more glass word, which is glassy-eyed. 2 words with a hyphen. Eyed is E-Y-E-D. Adjective from 1847. Marked by or having glassy eyes. Not much to that one. Okay, just 2 more words that are not related to glass, I don't think. We now have Glauber's salt. Glauber's salt. Capital G-L-A-U-B-E-R''S and then salt. Noun from 1736. This is a colorless crystalline sulfate of sodium, Na2SO4, and then I think there's a dot, and then 10 H2O, 10 water molecules. This is used especially in dyeing as a cathartic and in solar energy systems. It is sometimes used in plural, Glauber's salts, and it is called also just Glauber salt. Glauber salt, Glauber salt. This is named from a person. You probably could figure that out. Johann R. Glauber, who was a German chemist who died in 1668. 1668, many years ago, and they made up this salt. They were like, here, you can use this salt for your solar panels, maybe. They didn't have solar panels back then, I don't think. One more word for this episode. It is glaucoma. Glaucoma or just glaucoma. Glaucoma. It is a noun from 1885. A disease of the eye marked by increased pressure within the eyeball that can result in damage to the optic disc and gradual loss of vision. Ooh, yeah. So this is a Latin word. It means cataract. Is it cataract or cataract? Cataract. That is from the Greek word glaucoma, from glaukoun, which means to have a cataract. Also from glaukos. And so I think a cataract is something on the front of the eye, and I guess is it that you get a cataract from glaucoma, or does it look like you have a cataract when you have glaucoma, which is, what is it, damage to the optic disc. I took an eye test a couple of years ago, and they said that the pressure's a little high, and you should go see a specialist and get this checked out, get this looked at periodically, because, oh man, I learned so much about the eyeball, the eye system. So basically, there's these like liquids and stuff in the eye, and there's a drainage system in the back of the eye, I think. And, if there's like a lot of stuff, so like sometimes you see those floaters around, and if you got a lot of those and they fill up the drainage system, it can build up pressure. It can get clogged and build up pressure. And then if you have a lot of pressure, then there can be all this other things going on. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's multiple things that can cause the pressure, but I think at least in some cases, it all has to do with that drainage system and getting rid of those floaters and stuff. I had to worry about it a little bit because they said that I have this like pigment dispersion thing where some of the pigment in my iris is falling off, going away, and when they shine a light in, it bounces back and some of the light comes through. And so those little particles of the iris fall off, that's when you see those floaters. And if there's a lot of them, maybe if there's a lot of physical activity or something, there's a lot of them, they can clog up that drainage system, and then they get high pressure, and then you can get glaucoma. And I was like, I don't want that stuff at all. I'm gonna not. What can I do? What can I do to not get glaucoma? And yeah, so eventually you lose your vision, and that sucks. All right, let's pick a word of the episode. We had glass blowing, glass ceiling, glass closet, glass eye, glass fiber, glass harmonica, glass house, glassy, glassine, glass jaw, glass maker, glass snake, glass sponge, glassware, glass wool, glass work, glass wart, glassy, glassy-eyed, Glauber's salt, and glaucoma. I think I'm going to pick glass harmonica as the word of the episode because I think it's a fascinating instrument that just kind of looks cool and makes interesting sounds, and you gotta dampen your fingers to play it. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'd love to try one, obviously. Where can I apply one? I try one? Wow, there's a lot of information in this thing. Okay, glass harmonica. Now this one says glass harmonica with no H, but why is it called the glass harmonica? There's no harmonicas. It's made with glass. It's spinning around. There's bowls and bowls in bowls. Glass harmonica. Fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about a movie, which is, I don't want this thing. I went and saw Tight and Nerdy again. This is the documentary about the burlesque troupe that dances to Weird Al music. And this time I got to see it at a film festival in Beloit, Wisconsin, not terribly far from where I live in the Chicago area. Stopped off to get some dinner on the way, and I went with a friend, and we had a great time, and I got to see Jeff Nucera, Jeff, in person, which was fantastic, and he did a wonderful Q&A afterwards, and he is a very silly man, and I appreciate him, and I love him, and I love him and his co-producer director, Jonathan, I think. I appreciate that they made this. And also, of course, to the women who created this this burlesque troupe. They're fascinating people and wonderful people, and you should go watch this movie wherever you can every single day. Tight and Nerdy. Okay, time for me to go be busy with stuff. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.